Are we starting? Hello? Hold on. Say hi.
Sound check.
Check, double check. Oh no! My friend coughed! How dare he? Okay, let me double check, guys. See if you guys can both hear us. Okay, I think you guys can hear us. Hi guys, I'm KW, and this is my friend's spell code. You guys have heard him in my videos before, like in Phasmophobia, or the special Halloween video that we did a few years back. That was a crazy one. What do you want to say to everyone? Like...
Oh, like, I'm usually the one who gets killed in all of your shows? Or you kill me and you don't tell me? That's what you're going to do? Yeah, that's usually me.
Yes,
So I'm a little nervous sitting this close to you.
This is not Phasmophobia, you're not gonna die.
But I don't see any sharp objects, so you're okay.
Oh god. Okay, yes, so this is our first live stream podcast because we thought why not for the first episode we do a live stream and talk about the world of paranormal. Now, for those of you who don't know, I did put out a warning on the community stuff and everything, even in Discord, that my friend here is actually a skeptic, which means, do you want to explain what a skeptic means?
I think it's pretty simple. There is no world of paranormal, so I have no idea what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so he doesn't believe in the world of paranormal, but I do. But we're not gonna like go say, "Oh, you're so wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong." We're just gonna talk about like our
You're wrong.
perspective on the points of views of the world and everything, like we do. Kind of like in science, we always test things out and theorize about things and what we believe in, you know? Like, you know, people believe Earth is flat, people don't believe in outer space like that, but you do believe in space, right?
Yeah, outer space is real, but the world of paranormal, not so much. So yes, I'm here to explain why you're wrong. That's exactly right.
All right. So I guess we'll start with the first question I put down is, what does the word paranormal mean to you? So, like, when you hear the word paranormal.
Not normal. Let me Google it. I guess like not real sort of thing. So
yeah. For me, for the word means like it's not normal. It's something that you don't know for sure what it is yet until you really figure out. Now, usually, I think paranormal these days actually does means like the world of supernatural, ghosts and such, like a moving object or a ghost orb or the flickering lights and everything like that. You know, of course, we have states, well, flickering lights could be a malfunction or anything like that, but still, you know, I think like during the times, like before we had like super powerful technology like we have today, we couldn't get answers at first. So it was like, maybe there is a ghost, maybe there is something, you know, spiritual out there.
I think it means kind of like outside or beyond the normal, which I actually like that term better than supernatural.
Right,
because
yeah.
There's nothing natural about it, and there's nothing super about it.
I mean, if you think about it, there are some things out there in the science world that it's like paranormal because we're still like trying to figure out. I mean, if you think about it, I guess you can say, like the ocean, we still don't know nothing about the ocean. So to me, that's paranormal because it's like, we don't know. No,
maybe not. But
I mean,
I get where you're going with that, though. That it could still be like, you know, like intriguing because you know, before you really know what something is, I mean, it's really mysterious, right? Mm-hmm. If we don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean, it may almost seem like supernatural, right? All those weird creatures and everything down there that we haven't discovered, right? But then we do discover them, and then eventually we do learn more about them, and sometimes even like the real, what is real is like completely blows us away because it's a can be really bizarre too, strange.
But you can also ask questions in the live chat as well too, and you can do that. So just let you guys know. Anyways, I think my second question would be is, did you had any paranormal experiences? Not like supernatural, but had any experience where like, what the heck just happened? Like, huh? Hello?
No, I mean, I think we all have like scary experiences, right?
Right.
Things kind of like surprise us, or they
Like when we went trick or treat on Halloween, we were just going. Yeah, so I like to trick or treat with my friend. We always like to hang out because we like Halloween a lot. At least I do. I love cosplaying and everything like that. We were heading down like a street or whatever, and we keep hearing these like screams, and we're like, is there a haunted house, or is someone playing like an audio recorder scaring people with the screams and everything? And we were just like trying to figure out, and eventually when we were coming back, the screams like stopped, so we were just like, what just happened? Because it's like, are those screams real or are they fake? Like who knows? Maybe it's a ghost. No, it probably was like an audio recording. It was just like we just like stopped and we're just like, is there like a haunted house? Like we couldn't find if there was a haunted house or not. We just could like hear the screams. It was weird. And so I think for me, I probably didn't really have experiences. The only times I could say consider experiments is like sometimes when I go to like sleep and I'm like tired or something like that, and trying to I would hear like footsteps by my bed, or like feel like there's someone sitting on my bed and everything. But that's always like kind of like a normal kind of thing. I don't really think that's like ghosty or anything like that. It's just like, because sometimes, if I'm in my own little world, watching YouTube videos or Netflix or playing video games or whatnot in my headset, I don't know what it's exactly called, but it's like there's like it's like an after effect for it and everything, where you start like hearing like even like voices in your head. Well, not voices in your head, but you like. I mean, yeah, it's like voices in your head, but it's not like it's outside of your head, and you can control the voices and everything. So it's kind of really freaky. And so it's like, okay, how did that happen? I always like, okay, what just happened? I know there's not ghosts in my house. Like I can confirm this. My house is not haunted. Like even though I'm a believer in the ghost world, I can guarantee my house isn't haunted. Especially like times where I talk to you about like, hey, so if this is not paranormal, what could it be? So
yeah, I think so. It's I think everybody kind of gets that creeped out feeling sometimes, right? Because sometimes you have a scary dream, or it's at night, or
right.
you can't see very well, or you have those like before we got our lock fixed on our front door, right? Sometimes it would pop open on its own, and like there was this one time, I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm walking out, and like the front door to the house is open, and it's like that. I feel like, oh man, did someone come in, or what? What happens? Kind of
Right.
can be scary. Or if you're in an unfamiliar place, you haven't.
Yeah, no, like actually there are times where at night, when like the lights turn off in like the living room or whatever, I get so freaked out because like even though like nothing bad's gonna happen, but it's just like you just get this whole vibe like no, you just don't, you just like just no. I just usually try to stay away from the living room when the lights are off and everything. I was like, no. Like even though like I would like up to her like, hey, let's go and watch something. I just quickly just walk, just like, just get in and out, get in and out. Like.
And sometimes with all our modern technology, and electricity. I mean, houses make a lot of noise, and especially at night, like things rattle.
Oh yeah, especially like when we have like small power outages in the house. Sometimes, like every time like I hear the fans go off, I'm like, no, don't scare me like that. Like as I'm about to say, like, are you kidding me?
Like the wind, like last night when the wind was blowing hard, and you could hear like the trees creaking.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, your mind can really play. I think that's kind of the mind playing tricks on you.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, just we like to think that maybe that was a ghost, or your brain just likes to come up with reasons. It's we have really good imaginations.
Yeah. So I think you probably already answered this question, but let's say if you go to like a house or whatever, and someone says, "Oh, you can feel this negative vibe" or whatever. Do you actually feel that negative vibe? Someone tells you, "Yeah, there's like a negative vibe." Like it's not have to do anything like with supernatural. You just feel this like or sadness, or just feel like something did happen here and everything like that.
Well, I'll have to use my imagination because I usually don't go to places where there's a negative vibe, and even if there were, I don't know if I would tell them there was a negative vibe. But
you're just like, I'll just see what happens,
But I think, I don't think there's really anything supernatural about that. I just think some places feel like.
Mm-hmm.
They can feel kind of like old and decrepit or dusty, or like even when you see like cobwebs, and it's like ooh.
No, yeah. Actually, when I when I used to camp with family and such, and we would have to walk the dogs or anything, or if we're just walking or whatever, it has like this vibe in the forest. It's not like supernatural vibe, but it definitely has a vibe if you walk to places and everything, especially at night, because I'm not used to going outside and everything, because it's not that I don't like going outside, I love of nature and everything like that, but I don't usually try to stay outside very long because I always get worried I'm going to get bitten by snakes or spiders and such like that, even though that's not going to be the case. So once I'm following the rules and such and everything, I could just feel that's like a negative feeling. It's just like, oh wow, it's really nice here. It's just you feel really happy in the forest, and then at night or something you just feel like it's quiet, and you just don't know if something is gonna happen or whatever. Especially one time we found an owl outside at night, just hanging about or whatever. So that was one of those interesting things. An owl out of nowhere. Okay, I'd never seen an owl before and everything, so that was pretty cool to see an owl. Or one time we were driving by the lake or whatever to get firewood or whatever, and so we're by the lake, where you can swim and everything, and we just see this snake slithering, and so it's just really freaky, and so it's just really interesting to see the outside and everything like that. So those it's just really interesting. I feel I wonder if something's happening. Not supernatural happening. I was like, I wonder if the world is trying to tell me something, especially even I think that's also the best way to get ideas for any creativity. If you go outside and do it and everything, that's how I guess some of my ideas for doing stuff and everything is by going outside and walking and being like, okay, I can see this as maybe a bookstore, or getting an idea just talking out loud and everything, and being pretending in one of those videos, I'm like, oh yes, this is a good idea for making a video, so yeah, so
yeah, and I think that's handy because especially at night, the if the moon's out, and I mean there have been some nights they've been out, and it's like, oh man, this would be the perfect Halloween night.
Oh yeah, especially when the moon's red or yellow, and it's okay, what happened? It's just every time the moon changes colors, I just get a little bit freaked out because I'm like, is this a warning that the end of the world or something. Like, even though it's not, it's just like you're just like, okay, what is happening here? Like, come on, can we just have a normal night? Can we just have a nice white full moon or whatever?
Yeah, I think Halloween should not be on a specific day. They should wait for the creepiest night of the year to have Halloween, right?
Or especially like like maybe Friday the 13th.
It's just like the 4th of July. It always ends up being like rainy or like miserable. It's like the same thing. Should have the 4th of July on just like the most beautiful day, right?
Mm.
And you should have Halloween on like the creepiest, like the foggiest, the most wettest, like miserable, like full moon, thunderstorms that like on the horizon with lightning.
Oh, please, no thunderstorms. No thunderstorms, please. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do now is like talk about what you think about these things people have said as like supernatural or anything. So I think the most common thing people will say they have seen or taken pictures of and everything like that are what they're called shadow figures, or like the shadow man or whatever, and they're supposed to be like these like shadowy figures are pretty tall and everything, and they like walk by or doing something or whatever and everything. It's not really a particular like a person or anything like that. They're just shadow figures and everything like that. And so for me personally, I think might be shadow figures, but at the same time, if they're saying like you can only see them at night or something like that, then that's where I'm like skeptic just because like, well, duh, you're probably going to only see them at night because it's dark outside. You're going to see things and everything. But if it's more like maybe sunset or something like that, I'm still a little bit skeptic. But I'm like, okay, yeah, there is probably some lighting here and there. But if you see shadow figures like during the day and it's not your shadows or anything, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, there's something definitely there. But I don't know. What do you think about shadow figures? Like, if someone tells you, oh yeah, there's like, I feel like everywhere you go, you're going to hear something about shadow figures, and I just
I think it just tricks of the light or the because especially, I mean, 100 years ago it might be different, but like now everyone has cameras, right?
Yeah, like
everyone has like, but why don't we see all these pictures of shadow figures then, right? We have, people have cameras running all the time in their homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think if there were an epidemic of shadow figures, running around.
Yeah, even just looking up shadow figures, you can tell these are like fake, so I just look it up. So, anyways.
And our eyes are not, perfect. I mean, people can. There are all sorts of things, also that can cause hallucinations. I'm not saying everyone is hallucinating, but and the lighting isn't always the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. I mean, how many times, like, especially in the dark, are you like, do you like get to catch your own shadow? You're like, oh, okay, it moves when I do. It's my own shadow. It's just it's real easy to be fooled, especially when the lighting conditions aren't good, or maybe you're just not like paying attention. Your head is somewhere that's like, whoa, what was that? What just happened? Right?
Yeah, no, like sometimes at night when I say like the living room, for example, sometimes I'm like, thought I see something, but I'm like, wait, no, I'm just probably tired. Oh wait, no, it's just dark, because really it's like that's like completely blacked out, but you feel like you will not able to see anything at all if we turn the living room lights off, and I just really hate it because it's like, I just get so terrified because I'm worried I'm gonna see something and everything, even though it's like, like my own imagination or something like that. It still like terrifies me because of like, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to have something happy going on. Like, why can't I just be beautiful unicorns or something like that? And so yeah, I'm like, I think
we all wish we dreamed of beautiful unicorns, but
or Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll say that for our dream episode.
Yes. Ooh, that could be a second episode if we want to. We have so many ideas, guys. Alright, so I guess what I'm going to talk about is something people will actually more commonly are, I think, skeptic about is ghost orbs. Have you ever heard of ghost orbs?
Well, I learned about ghost orbs when I played Phasmophobia with you. Before that, I had never heard of ghost orbs.
Okay, so I never actually even heard of ghost orbs either till Phasmophobia, and actually watching famous paranormal investigators on YouTube like Sam Kobe, the Twin Paranormals, or Seth Borden, who is a descendant of Lizzie Borden, if you guys didn't know. If the best way I could explain it is something like flying in the cameras and everything like that, kind of like in Phasmophobia. And people will say that it could actually could be dust particles, but sometimes the way you're able to tell if it's a ghost orb or not a dust particle is the way they fly and everything. Like, I don't know how dust particles actually fly, though. That's the thing. And so sometimes when I like see them like say like if they didn't catch ghost orbs but I did, I'm like, is that a dust particle? And then when people like say, oh, this is definitely a ghost orb, I'm like, are you sure about that? But sometimes I'm like, but if there's like something like coincidental maybe, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see that being a ghost orb because the way it was flying, maybe it's like, spiraling up or something like that. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a ghost orb, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how dust particles would even work, because like, I just would think they would just fall down like this or something, or maybe spiraling around. I mean,
well, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes. That's part of what science is, figuring out why things do what they do. I was just reading about how, hundreds of years ago, like Leonardo da Vinci he made notes about like why bubbles made these spirals in water.
mm.
And they're just now like figuring out why they do that.
Wow.
And why they don't just, float up to the,
space
of your soda, right? And then they do something, like really weird things. But that's the thing. I mean, like, I think if we studied that, yeah, I'm sure we could figure out like air currents. I mean, it's not that's not like weird, but I don't think, it requires a ghost to make little glowy sparks, travel in spirals.
Yeah, it's just like I actually am surprised that you and I are like, saying, oh yeah, we never heard of ghost orbs until like Phasmophobia, and so,
I don't think they've really been in like movies or anything. Maybe that was. I don't know if
maybe it's like a common
started as like on the
internet or something.
Yeah.
And like actually, like for people who don't know, you and I actually watched the Conjuring movie, and I don't think they ever even said like they found like ghost orbs or anything like that when they were trying to figure out what's going on in the house or anything, whether you believe it's paranormal or not. Like, did you remember? Do you remember anything from the movie where they said?
I don't remember anything from any movie. Ghost orbs in it.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, it's probably one of those where it's like a mystery that science probably needs to figure out in the future and everything like that. Since we're not 100% sure of. So ghost orbs are, I think they're pretty interesting anyway, whether it's supernatural or not. Just because apparently, like you and I are like, we never heard of them. We heard of them in Phasmophobia. I've seen them in like YouTube videos and such. So maybe it is like an internet thing.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think you're right. It is. Anytime you see something where you're like, "Whoa, that's weird. Why does it do? Why does it do that?" That's kind of what science is actually all about. Like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why that happens.
So, yeah. So now this is going to be a very, very tricky and interesting. We're going to talk about is EMF readers. You know.
What readers?
EMF readers. So
EMF readers.
Yeah. So you have seen them in Phasmophobia. There are these like things where you can detect, like I guess electromagnetic wavelengths and everything like that. So basically, like for me, for example, your phone or whatever. But what I've seen in like in YouTube videos and such and everything like that, they will say like here's proof and everything. Now, of course, that's probably obviously they're probably faking it or whatever or trying to prove it. But at the same time, it could be actually whether it's paranormal or not. It could be there is something where it's like, okay, it's not their phones, it's not their cameras. What is making that electric current that they're detecting on this EMF reader? So, do you have any opinions about that?
Well, it could be other. I mean, it would have to be other things in the environment. And that's the same for like any detector. If I'm walking around with a Geiger counter, right, detecting radiation, and it picks up some radiation, I wouldn't say, oh, there must be a ghost nearby giving off radiation. There must be a source of radiation that we don't know about. Oh, there must be something radioactive around that we need to find. So to me, it's the same thing like with an EMF reader. If it's picking up electromagnetic waves, then there's got to be something in the environment
right.
that's creating those. And with electromagnetic waves, I mean, those are all over the place. I mean, that happens in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
That's what causes auroras.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Isn't like auroras something had to do with like electromagnetic stuff? Like I would never like learning about like auroras. Actually, I learned a lot of science because of him and everything. So we might do like a science episode where he can teach you guys about a little bit about science and why did I like the stuff that he teach me and everything. So just letting you guys know. But yeah, I would never like saying about the auroras and everything and talking about like I think actually in like Rising Dion, which is a Netflix series, something like happened to a lot of people when they were like watching the aurora shower or something like that. Like I don't know if you remember like when you know.
You do. Yeah. It was a good example. I mean, another example is like, well, before everything was streaming, right? When you had TVs that had antennas, right? And then like that snow, right? And that was even in Poltergeist.
No, we do not talk about Poltergeist.
But that's caused by actually radiation from outer space, cosmic radiation, right? But for a long time, people didn't know what caused like all this electromagnetic stuff that isn't from the TV signal. Where's it coming from? And it took them a long time to figure out, oh, it's coming from space.
Yeah. And so, alright. So this is actually a part where we're going to watch like a video. So, just to talk about, I don't know if you ever heard of these devices. I heard a little bit about these devices. But I am actually 100% a skeptic on these, so yay! I think you're really me about that one. But I think they're called EFPs. I don't know, you guys probably had to give me the right term for these, but I think it happened in Japan or somewhere in the world, right? That they were creating, this new technology or whatever, like a phone or something like that, and then when I think they were like a new recorders or something like that. And then like I guess one day what happened, someone was, using it to record wherever they were gonna record, maybe probably a podcast, And then when they went to go and replay it or whatever, they catch something that was like a voice or something, but no one was around them except for them, that person or whatever. So now it's kind of like a paranormal device to detect like voices and such that nobody can hear. And to be honest, I'm a little bit skeptical about it because, like, yes, I can hear something that they will say they hear something. Like, I can hear, like, maybe a voice that's not really them. But when they put, like, subtitles saying this is what they're saying, I do not hear it. I'm like, that's why I'm a skeptic. Like, maybe you have to be there to actually hear what they're hearing. But at the same time, it's just like they were playing, like, slow-mo. And the voices are quiet, so you can't quite hear it. The only times I probably will believe if you hear a really loud growl. Like there is actually, I will play I'll make sure it's not loud for you since you're the one wearing the headset. We're sharing the headset, by the way. Hey, but like that's the only times where I kind of believe, like, okay, yeah, where did that come from? Because there was not like a growl, there was not like a scream and or anything like that. So where did that come from? Is it because of malfunction or something like I don't know. What do you think if you?
Yeah, I mean, if yeah, I think there's probably just a logical explanation, and there are things like just like there are visual illusions, right? There are audio illusions where if you listen to like random sounds, like after um, if you listen to uh, like any song, like what is that, like shark song or whatever,
Oh
and
no,
then you
the
just play
baby
like
shark.
yeah, and then you just play like random sounds. You're gonna be like, oh, that still sounds like Baby Shark.
Oh no, my god, that's
Yeah,
kind of freaky to think about that. Continue.
yeah, but it's just your brain trying to make sense of that, and this kind of thing. I mean, it's not like all that new, right? I mean, when I was growing up, they claimed that you could play like rock and roll records backward and slow them down, and they would have like messages from Satan. I mean,
Oh no,
you know, yeah,
I mean, during that time though, it's like everything is like have to do with like Satan with the devil. I mean, for is it? This is kind of like a little bit like a spoilers for Stranger Things season 4 for you guys and for him, but I think because it's like around school time again, the kids are getting back to school and everything. I forgot what year it's like. I think it's like 1990, and they're starting posting news articles and such about saying that Dungeons and Dragons are witchcraft and everything like that, and not just a game and everything did you hear any of that? Like when you?
oh yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I mean, our family is very religious, and at first, yeah, it was kind of a big deal that like, Dungeons and Dragons was, that people could get so involved that they would almost
I mean,
be
like
like possessed, and that was evil, and
I mean, that's like kind of like with like violence in video games as such. I think actually, to be honest, I think it's still like a common thing to this day though with video games. I mean, I actually have talked about, I have played the Shadow the Hedgehog game and everything like that, and I have told you that when I was looking up, like why I had some pretty bad ratings and everything is because, if you guys didn't know, the gameplay for Shadow the Hedgehog is you could collect different guns and weapons and such for him to use. And this is because someone made an edit of Sonic carrying like a pistol or whatever. So that's kind of sparking the idea for Shadow the Hedgehog to have the weapon because he's technically this like not like a super itchy hedgehog, but he's always kind of on this dark side because of his like traumatic past. If you guys know the lore and everything like that, and so it was kind of interesting to know. It's like because people thought a hedgehog shouldn't carry a gun, but I'm always going like, there is a guy who is shaped like an egg who has this over 300 IQ and has been firing missile launchers at a blue hedgehog and tries to kill him, right? I mean, he was about to blow up the planet Earth when he collected the 7 Karat Emeralds. And I mean, also in Sonic Adventure 2, he pointed at a gun at Amy Rose to make Sonic hand him a Chaos Emerald. So, I mean, just think about it. It's just kind of interesting. They're like, you have this like Eggman. I mean, you saw the Sonic Hedgehog movies. He has like missile launchers and robots firing at the hedgehog.
yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I mean, well, think about it. You have like Mario running around with a hammer, and and Donkey Kong, like trapped a princess, and I guess it's video game, but there's a lot of I guess.
I mean, okay, Five Nights at Freddy's. Just think about the lore. Think about the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. Just a second there. If you think about it, the people actually have said, it's made for kids, and I'm like, you see me play Security Breach, okay? And I have shown you the psycho rabbit chasing me and everything with this like creeping noise and the ambiance, and she's like, "Are you having fun yet? Are you having fun yet?" Like, how is that made for kids? Now technically, Security Breach just has this like 1980s retro. Like you have said, it has this 1980s retro. I actually even show to my lovely mom. Because I said, hey, people are saying they hear this certain type of music from this song or whatever. Is that true? Because she has listened to the song or whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, that is from, like, oh, hi, mom, I'm live streaming. And you guys have probably heard over the course of my live streams. And so, yeah. And so it's just really interesting that, that's probably an episode we should also have talk about, video games, think about it, especially like FNAF lore, which, by the way, are you excited for the FNAF movie? The topic, are you excited for the FNAF movie?
Am I what for the FNAF?
The FNAF movie is actually happening in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
Yeah, like Matthew Litter is playing as Purple Guy. You know who Matthew Litter is.
I'm sure you'll probably talk me into seeing.
But yeah, I'm thinking of
But I'm not a horror movie person.
It might be PG-13. It might be a thriller movie.
But I will probably see it.
I mean, it's probably going to be a good movie, whether or not it's horror. I mean, you enjoyed the It movie too, right? Even that was horror. Alright, anyway, so let's get into this video here with the EMPs. I'm going to mute it real quick so you won't get loud by it. Just tell me how big it was. So there is an ad, boo ass. So these are the people known as the paranormal investigators, called the Twin Paranormal. They were twins, and they went to the Goldman's Bridge, which, by the way, is a pretty famous place. Have you heard of the Goldman's Bridge?
Nope.
Okay. Turn off all ads. We're fine. So I think I may need to look at the timestamp, so we're just gonna watch Be in the Dark for a minute. Let me find the timestamp again. It's just been a while, so oh wait, I'm in the wrong thing. So the Gomez Branch is a pretty famous place. I think it's like one of the world's by the way, Bunny Bunny was in the chat. Hello, and you just gave me an update for the voice actors. That's cool. Good to know. Thank you, Bunny and Bunny. Keep up the good work. Alright, so the timestamps I need to go to is.
Come on, you should have some scary music for moments like this.
Okay,
what is that about? That's
okay, dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it should be suspense.
That's right. Alright, here we are. So let me see.
Ooh, pop-up ad. Very nice. Now those pop-up ads, I really think those are ghosts.
Alright.
Because they are so annoying.
Alright, it's just too loud. By the way, there is a audio adjuster.
Yes, what did that just say? Yes.
So is this too loud?
What did we just capture?
Just let me know it's too loud or not. So
none of us said anything.
It should be fine.
None of us said anything.
So they're now using these machines I was talking about before, the EVPs or whatever you want to call them. So okay, so they think they hear. Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute just in case they swear, because I think sometimes they swear. So I'm just getting to the growling part.
Okay, so I heard they asked if there was anyone around there who did what they were saying.
Yeah.
And they heard a yes, but
I think this is it right here. A growl. So let me know if you hear a growl.
Or were you one of the ones that was rumored to be
Do you think they heard? There you go, right there. Did you hear the growl?
I heard static.
You heard static.
I guess you could maybe kind of sort of think that, but
it feels like a really loud static to you.
Yeah, to me that's not definite. I mean, what is a growl? Anything can.
It's like. What was that?
Like like what? It's just been like static.
Oh really? Okay.
To me, it would it would be much more convincing. Think about it. If you were like sacrificed, would you just like growl? You'd be like, I want to get that murderer. I'll tell you his name. I'll tell you what. You'd be like. Telling like your whole story.
I mean, I heard like I think there was like another video where they asked like, do you want to sleep, and they're like, get out, and they growl at it, and that the same technology thing. And so I mean
well, what do you expect from a
I mean, this is the government.
I mean, even like CB radios, right? If you've ever seen one of those, you get like a lot of noises and pops and growls, and I mean it that doesn't mean that I'd be more convinced like if they actually talk to you and the ghost said
right,
I am so angry that someone killed me, or I want revenge.
all right, so that's interesting. So you and I both agree it's a little bit skeptical with those devices where apparently you hear some sort
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pretty sketchy. So wait. What did that sound like?
Sounds like you constipated.
That was a growl. Oh, come on. That was a real growl.
I can't.
That wasn't bad.
Alright. So here's an interesting question. Moving objects. Thanks. What do you think about moving objects? So let's say your phone is right there, right on the table, and all of a sudden it just like went maybe like spinning on a table. Even though like
I would like to see that actually happen. And to prove that it's not, caused by something else.
Right. So you don't really believe in moving objects? Like, especially like, for instance, okay, I really hate talking about her, but like the Annabelle doll?
Well, sure, I believe in moving objects. I just believe there are natural reasons why
why
move.
They move.
I mean, the old Newton's law of mechanics, things will continue moving until something stops them, and they won't move until something pushes them. It's
right. And so I actually am gonna show you, and so like, have you ever seen a moving object where it's like maybe float in the air or something like that, or just like
a plane, a helicopter,
a plane. Okay, fair enough. that counts.
Well, and now, I mean, have you heard the news with all the spy balloons and the?
Yeah, I heard about the spy balloons. So that's kind of freak. Like, okay, hey, I don't know what's going on with the spy balloons. We're not going to get into the political stuff, but that's interesting. How they did it. Like, have like something like. I mean, it's kind of bad they're spying on us, but
yeah,
I mean...
It's like pretty ingenious, right? There's all like this technology for, like satellites and they're using balloons, I mean...
What?
That's... I gotta say, that's, pretty smart.
Yeah, I was like really surprised about that. So there is another video. I forgot to save it in this playlist. Luckily, I found it immediately. So I'm going to send it through the live chat so I can just get it. But so this video for me, like, I'm not going to say this is paranormal, but for me, it's just like, where did that even come from? Because it's nowhere to be seen and everything, and all of a sudden, like, falls to the ground. That to me is like, not supernatural paranormal, but paranormal, if that makes sense. Like something like you really don't know how to explain. And so that's where we're gonna watch. So we're gonna do another BRB. Something
That is not creepy.
Okay, fine.
Oops, something went wrong.
Shut up! Don't know why it's working. Oh god. I don't know. Let me think of something here, guys. Okay, hold on. It's called. Oh god. No, I'll just ask you another question while we do this. Okay, so here's my last question. Would you go to a Stanley Hotel, even though it's not haunted? If it's not haunted, would you go and check out?
Well, of course it's not haunted.
I mean,
would I go and stay? I mean, you know, if they had a good discount,
have a good discount. But why would you go? Like, well, I mean, everybody should know by now. But if you guys don't know, the Stanley Hotel is pretty famous for being haunted. But it's also because of Stephen King. He wrote the book The Shining, and the idea of The Shining for the movie was, based off the Stanley Hotel. I actually remember, know what the nightmare was and everything that he had about it, to where he goes, you know what, that's a pretty darn good idea for a book. I even saw a video where someone went to the Stanley Hotel. They're not paranormal investigators or anything like that. They're just like, you know what, let's just see if it's haunted, and it was just a really interesting perspective that he had and everything. And so, I would definitely go to the Stanley Hotel. I don't care if it's haunted or not. I'm going there because I am very curious. Like, how in the world the King of Horror? Because I think is he known for being the King of Horror? I mean, I know you're not into like the horror, but
well, I mean, he's obviously one of the
right
most famous, horror writers.
All right. So this video is by Haunted Nights. They went to the Conjuring House. This is the actual Conjuring House. So this is what the movie is based on. So this is what it actually looked like. It's really interesting. It's really different from the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it does look creepy. I gotta give it that.
And of course, they have the.
Oh yeah, and dolls and their own like little crosses.
And then there's the Ouija boards too. Like, okay, Ouija boards. Do you think it's just a toy?
Yeah. What else would it be?
So if I bought an Ouija board and I said, "Hey, let's play with it," would you?
No, because to me it's not. I mean, say it's a game, but it's not a very fun game. Like, what's the point of it?
Like, okay, I am not 100% per se skeptical about the Ouija boards, but I feel like it can be easily fake, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, so, so, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, it's 100% fake or anything like that. Like, you're going to say it's a toy and everything like that. But for me, I just wouldn't listen to it just in case that there is probably something happen to me. Not because of the Ouija board, just because I feel like I had a bad experience with it. Even though it's not because, something demonic, kind of thing. But it's... Someone in the live chat just said to you, hold up, you think the Ouija board is a toy? What do you have to say to that?
Well, I think it's one of the worst toys ever. It's not very fun to play with. But it's certainly not a way of communicating with the dead, if that's,
Alright, but anyway, so we're gonna watch this video.
I mean, if you were a ghost, why would... And someone's like, the Ouija board, like, why would you even if ghosts were real, like, why are you like, oh, I better answer that. They're using a Ouija board. I mean... that somehow that, is going to, like, get a ghost's attention? Even
Wait,
if they
wait,
were?
what? Wait. Theory. What if someone decided to use the Ouija board and that's how the animal doll got possessed? Because someone thought, hey, let's tease the demons and ghosts and such. It would be totally fun because the Tupperware is fake. Like.
I mean, if you really wanted to get a hold of a ghost, something like a Ouija doll, right? Like poke 'em. Okay, then yeah. I mean, if you were a ghost and you kept on getting poked, you'd be like, okay, man, just stop it. I'll talk to you, all right? But a Ouija board, like, come on.
All right. So what you're gonna watch is this window over here. I'm pointing at the window. You guys can't see it because we don't have the webcam on. So but I guess the best way to say. So you see this animal doll right here, right? Of course, that's not the real animal doll. Don't worry, we're safe. So you're gonna see this window.
It's a video. The doll can't get to us. It's not watching.
No, but okay. Well, here's the thing. There are actual dolls, though, that people say that you cannot stare at or take pictures of without permission, or you might have something happen to you. Do you believe in that?
Oh, please.
Right.
Okay, back to the video. Back to the video.
Alright, so you're going to see something going to fall from here. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it comes from the roof. I don't know where it comes from the window. It just, that's what freaked me out. I don't know if that's like I said.
It's an old hotel. Look.
It's a house!
Probably, a house, fine. You can tell it's like old and probably, and I mean, is it that surprising? Like things are falling from it, I mean.
Okay, so here we go. So just watch closely. So over here, right? Nothing is happening, and then also that happens. Okay, they're gonna zoom in now. Well, you can't even see the thing until it falls.
Yeah, it's like okay, it's like a bar that
What? How did that happen? It is an old house. Yeah, no. I can see why it's not paranormal.
It's probably like rotting or moldy or I mean, it just looks like
it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's see, the thing about gravity is it works all the time, even when no one is around. And if something isn't connected very well and, whatever, it rattles it, there's a little tremor or someone downstairs, that flushes the toilet, then you could cause something to fall.
Let's see, they actually show what it looks like. This is like very. Hi guys, we're at so da 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 da.
It's about ramen noodles. So.
All right, so they're like upstairs, and okay, so here's the thing they found, right? The thing they found on the floor. So we got a closer look at it. What do you think? What is that?
It's some kind of pole. What was it even doing in the window?
That's don't know.
Why did they put that in the window?
Maybe it's something to help clean the windows?
I don't know. It just looks like someone
like, what is
propped something in the... okay, maybe it's a part... I can't tell what it is. But...
Please pick it up, guys. Pick it up. I think they pick it up. Right. Pick it up! The doll, please! Pick up the doll. Yes, pick up the scary doll. Okay, they are picking it up. Like, what are they doing now?
So it's some kind of... What was it even doing there? In the...
I don't know. I don't know. Like, what is the... is it actually for a window? It's like, I don't know. I don't know either.
I don't know. But, I mean, to me, that, that doesn't prove there's a ghost. It just...
Right.
Someone put a hat stand next to the window and they...
Right. So, alright, so I think I also have actually another question. So, have you heard of...
Nope, that was the last one. You said...
Have you heard of quartz, right?
Quartz? Like a rock?
Yeah. Apparently there is something interesting paranormal to them.
They're shiny and...
So apparently they say it helps bring the energy to ghosts. And ghosts use quartz to basically like either manifest or move objects and such, gives them power.
You know, if ghosts really are supernatural, why do they need
scratches down?
I don't know. He keeps looking over and seeing what I'm putting up playing. So anyway, so yeah, that's apparently the powerful energies and everything like that, and everything like that. Everything like that. I am repeating myself. Jeez.
like what? Yeah, I don't get. I mean, look, there's a lot of rumors about rocks. Some people think like crystals, or crystals have special.
I mean, apparently, like the Stanley Hotel is like built under like a rock of quartz and everything like that, and that's why people are saying it's haunted because of that. And I'm like,
they're rocks. They're rocks. They're like they're like.
I think maybe there is like something like scientific energy about it, but that also leads into the paranormal. But it's like, do they carry energy?
Quartz is like almost everywhere too. It's like so common.
I mean, it's in Minecraft.
That's right. It's even in Minecraft. I mean, how much more common, is that? I mean, at least if it was going to have special powers, they might have picked something like emeralds or diamonds, or
right?
Quartz.
Okay. What if?
I mean, do ghosts wear like Timex quartz watches to give them special powers?
I don't know. Okay, and then another thing. What do you think about? I mean, you saw this in The Country where the mom gets like bruises on down and everything, and I am showing up a video clip of where they just came back from the room or whatever, and this person did not feel anything or anything like that, and somehow out of nowhere she got scratch marks. What is there?
Well, first of all, to me, those don't look very dramatic.
I mean, yeah.
But things like, I mean, some people, for example, like they get bruises naturally. That just means that, there's blood under the skin. I mean, if they have, and look, I mean, haven't you ever had a bruise where you're like, oh, yeah, where'd I get that? Where you might not even remember you bumped into a wall or something, right?
I would usually get sort of like scratches or like scabs or something out of nowhere and everything, and then I would sometimes pick at them because they bother me, even though I shouldn't mess with them, but still, like.
That doesn't mean there's like a ghost, scratching you in your, in your sleep. It just means. Yeah.
No, but then and then we also have talked about Sam Colby, the door situation. Do you remember the door situation?
Oh, I remember the door situation.
So, do you want to talk a little about that? What we have agreed on, you and I?
Well, so that was the one where like the door like slammed on its own.
Right,
but you never got like a good
look at it. It's just like
camera angle, exactly. And
it's just like
slam. There's so many things that can cause a door to shut, other than ghosts. If it could be the hinges, the air pressure, like when equalizing. There's all sorts of things that can cause doors to
right
to shut on their own. That doesn't mean a ghost is slamming the door in your face.
Right. And so we're gonna talk actually about that. So we're just gonna show you guys what we were talking about. So it actually happened totally 3 times. So one when they were in the basement, or I think it is the basement, because it leads downstairs, and so it's not like the other rooms and everything like that. They were just checking out the basement or talking about whatever, and then suddenly they heard a door slam, and so they went to check and they're like, oh, the door closed. And so now we get to this scene where Colby, they're really good paranormal investigators if you believe the paranormal or just want to know, like, maybe you might be interested in them just to see, like, what they have discovered and what you can, like, debunk, you know? So, alright, so he's asking, me a sign to leave this room or whatever. So he had his back turned, right? Well, not right now, so, he's carrying EMF, he's carrying one of those, like, big, hefty cameras, I think, as well, like, I think you sometimes want to put it on the shoulder, too. And so you can tell it's, like, heavy and everything like that. Okay, Kobe, can you please stop talking, okay? I know you're trying to prove that ghosts are real, like everyone else on the internet. Alright, so now he's like, okay, there was nothing really here. And all of a sudden, boom, the door is shut. And so, at first, we thought maybe he did, like, slam the door with his foot, right? You and I actually, we both, like, slam the doors and everything like that, test our balances and everything like that. But then we come to realize, because this house is actually really, really old, like over 100 years old, and they have said, oh, watch your steps and stuff, because the place is falling apart and everything like that. They even have places where they close it off because it might be too dangerous. And so we both thought that maybe he stepped on the wood, because since the wood is old and everything like that, it probably bent the wood or whatever, made the door slam shut. And I think we also agree when the doors closed again. This time it wasn't slamming, right? It was, let me see if I can find it really quick. Okay, yeah, so they come to see, oh yeah, the door, okay, here it is. So, right, they see the door close. So this is what happened, right? And both and I heard a poppy noise. We heard a poppy noise. So what we thought was, we also agreed that if it's not paranormal. So if you see on the door, there's like a hinge. And I actually...
It's like a little doorstop.
Yeah. I have been to houses before. Like, I think actually, my grandmother actually, who lives in a house or something, like has like screen doors and such, will have door stoppers or on the doors below, or I think they're called hinges. I don't know what the exact term, but there are these like doors. I don't know if you had them or not. I think it's mostly just screen doors. If you have screen doors, they have like these hinges,
Yep.
and you can just push them, and then they lock. And sometimes they cannot last forever, so it might just like pop, So because I feel like there's like a hint, like I don't know. Do you see a hinge right here? Like, you see, there's like one connecting the wall, and it's like connecting the door. That's what I think is a hinge, because I heard like a popping noise. So it's either the door stopper or a hinge, or something made the door close that isn't, paranormal. Now, I'm not saying like, well, he's gonna say, yeah, it's totally fake, because he's a skeptic. He doesn't believe in the paranormal, which is fine. I believe in the paranormal. Oh, but we're saying, like, just in case, if it's not something paranormal, you have to be, I think, honestly, if you believe in the world supernatural, you also have to be rational. If that makes sense. Like, think all the different possibilities. What could it be that's not a ghost before you 100% go, yes, it's a ghost, or yes, it's a demon, or whatever it is, skinwalker, or wendigos, and such like that, if that makes sense. Because, I mean...
Well, the difference is, I think that even just because you don't necessarily have a reason doesn't mean that it's ghosts. Like the example I provided earlier with, like static on the TV. Well, for the longest time, they didn't know what that was. But just because you don't have an explanation doesn't mean that then it has to be something supernatural. It just means that we may not know what that is yet. I mean, frankly, there's a lot of stuff that we, don't know yet. Otherwise, science would be dead, right? So, dark energy, dark matter. We don't know what that is yet, but we're pretty sure it's not ghosts.
No, right? I was gonna say, dark energy does not. I mean, dark energy, yes, means dark magic. Ooh, no.
So we believe, yes, there's a scientific explanation for it, even if we don't know what it is yet. That's where we have to come up with new theories and sometimes new tools to be able to test and to figure it out. But just because we don't know what something is doesn't mean that we then jump to the conclusion that, because we don't have an explanation for that.
Right.
Has to be supernatural.
Right. So I think that's going to be the end of the podcast here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast and everything. So I think, do you have, since I picked this as our first episode, talk about paranormal, I think you should pick for the next episode.
Sorry, that was an evil laugh. Awesome. Well, thank you for inviting me, and hopefully I've convinced everyone out there that there are no ghosts. Right? World of the supernatural.
Or I hope I convince everyone there are some.
No. That's it. Time to end the podcast. End it now.
Okay. Do you want to do what I do? I go KW out. Do you want to do that, but with your names spelled out?
Yeah, I don't have a special way of signing off yet, do I? I guess I'll have to figure it. So for now, spilled gold out.
Okay, and also make sure you guys don't forget Secrets of the Plex series. Well, not series finale. Season finale is coming out soon, guys. Get ready for it because it's gonna be a banger. And also, Bunny has said a quick update that Taylor has a voice, and I have a voice for my character too. That's temporary for now, so that's gonna be exciting to hear voices in the tapes. If you go discover the tapes, and are you excited for Secrets of Plex? Because you also been to watch the series too.
Yes, I'm more excited about that than Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's a Five Nights at Freddy's series.
But sometimes the spin-offs are better than the originals, right? There we go.
Okay, they have one spin-off. I dare you to end it off.
Oh, one spin-off. Oh man, you're gonna ask a tough question like that at the very end. Well, there you go. Shadow's a spin-off. Right? He was in the original Sonic, right?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, okay, true, okay, now I'm fair, okay, I'll give you a Okay, KW out, Spell out. We'll see you in the second episode, which will be Spell Code's episode, because he's probably gonna pick the episode and he's gonna ask me the questions. So,
Oh, I can't wait.
Alright, KW out. Bye!